Pastor Carr, in explaining what the Talmud says about Yahushua HaMashiach and what led to the burning of the Talmud in 1240, I want to draw everyone's attention to the term Masorah, which is the collection of information and comment on the text of the traditional Hebrew Bible by the Masoretes. And so the Masorah is also used in a special sense to designate the apparatus criticus. And what the apparatus criticus means, it means supplementary data such as variant readings provided as part of an edition of a text as a basis for critical study. And so the Masorah used a special sense to designate the apparatus criticus devised by the Jewish grammarians for the fixing of the text of Scripture. And so the term Kabbalah likewise has a special meaning when used to denote the system of theosophy or secret doctrine set forth in the books Sefer Yetzirah and the Zohar. And so this is demonstrated by the formula which is found on every page of the Talmud in which a precept is expressed. For example, Rabbi A says, in the name of Rabbi B. Or another example, Rabbi A says that Rabbi B says that Rabbi C says, and etc. And so some authority must confirm the dictum of every teacher, the authority viz of some previous teacher. No teacher could base his teachings merely on his own authority by way of the Most High God. And the fact that Christ did this was no doubt one of the grievances against him on the part of the Jews. And so these Masoretes, who in no way possible are the blood descendants of Israel, are key contributors to the Talmud and many of the Bible translations by way of the Masoretic text. Some of the grievances they brought against Christ reveals their false, deceptive, and derogative acknowledgement of Christ, such as referring to him as Balaam, the son of Beor. And according to the Sanhedrin, section 106a, they say Christ was a soothsayer. They say that Christ was the son of a prostitute in whom they use the name Stata for Miriam, as we all know as Mary. So the word ben is Hebrew for son. So when you see the term ben Stata, it means son of Stata, in which they are referring to Yahushua HaMashiach, the Ben of Miriam. So in English, Jesus Christ, the son of Mary. And so they go on to further teach blasphemies in the Shabbat, section 104b, stating that Yahushua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, saying that he used witchcraft which he was taught in Egypt by means of tattooing his flesh. And the Sanhedrin, section 43a, says on the eve of the Passover, Yahushua was stoned, and then after he died, he was hung because of practicing sorcery and enticing Israel to apostasy. In these rabbinical teachings, they teach that Yahushua HaMashiach is the son of a Roman soldier, an unknown Panthera or Pandera, and that he, Christ, is by no means a descendant of David, but a descendant of the hated Roman Empire that so visibly and horribly oppressed the Judeans. And so, Pastor Carr, I'm sure you can hear the disgust in my voice. Unfortunately, there's more blasphemous material we have to cover. I think that you should cap things off with another bombshell, Zion.
In the book 10,000 Lovers, written by Edith Revel, It says on page 30, 29 and 30, through a mysterious semantic process, the word Zion, which means weaponry, and which is also the name of the seventh letter of the Aleph Beit, came to mean COCK in modern Hebrew. That means it's not Hebrew at all. That means it's something else. Maybe it was inevitable. The somewhat phallic shape of the letter Zion, the somewhat phallic shape of most weapons, the association of arms in general with sexual gear, the influence of the verb Zion, which means to feed or provide sustenance, and the alliterative link of Zion with the entirely unrelated biblical and modern word Zonia, or prostitute. These factors must have all conspired to create the modern Hebrew, fake Hebrew, slang word Zion and the related verb LE-ZAYEN, meaning to have sexual intercourse. When Alex said no one gave the F-bomb, the phrase he used was MIBEKHLALSAMZAYIN, Zion, from the idiom Lo Sam Zion, which literally means no putting your male sexual organ into something, and which is a variation, I think, on Lo Sem Lev, meaning not putting your heart into something.
You don't have any holes? Nope. Me and my brother Dozer were both 100% pure, old-fashioned, homegrown human, born free right here in the real world. Genuine child of Zion.
Zion.
If the war was over tomorrow, Zion's where the party would be.
There is a writing, there is a changing of a very important letter in the Hebrew lexicon, probably the most important outside of the first and the last letter of the Hebrew lexicon. You see, the ancient Hebrew lexicon, the Afro-Hebrew lexicon, is the original biblical writing. And the Afro lexicon, Hebrew lexicon, is written by people that have afros. Now, I want to reference with you the letter Zion, what they originally meant. The people with the afros, yeah, those people, what they originally meant with that letter Zion, it meant weapon and it meant sustenance, a tool like a mattox, an instrument to help you develop and grow your produce or grow your seed, and also keep things in order by defending the enemy, fending off the enemy. Okay, not defending for the enemy, but defending your people against the enemy. They have taken our Hebrew lexicon and gone through the entire 22 consonants and scrubbed the creation language and have identified Zion, the letter, the number, the seventh letter of the Hebrew lexicon, the representation of the number 7, the representation of the kingdom of the people of Israel, the entire house of Israel. That is Zion. They are Zion. Well, they identify those people as a male sexual organ. And when they reference that word or that letter Zion, when they are speaking in today's terms, in the modern Hebrew, as they call it, which is Yiddish, okay, well, what that has become is now a cuss word, the F-bomb. And they also have another modern meaning. They have a movement called the Zionists movement. So now, when you take that cuss word that they so-called change the meaning of the word, when you take that cuss word and you associate it, when you reference their name, Zionists, well, think about what they are doing to the entire world. Think about what they're doing to the governments. Think about what they have done to you personally, what they have done to you in your households. See, Judaism, Zionists, Kabbalism, Talmudism, Midrashism, the Zionists, that letter Zion, they are telling you that they are screwing you over.
I'm going to talk specifically today about the black culture. They do not know their history. That's one of the things that I know. And so you have to tell them their history